doke, we will get back out in it then. Okie doke, we will get back out in it then.
Welcome everybody, welcome to the broadcast. Rare broadcast from inside the KPWX HQ. We are not out on the weather deck and we are not out on the road. Just going over some information tonight, going over the models. Gonna get used to this new setup here as we move on into this little scene that we've set up here. See, this is the current run, the OOZ run of the GFS. Looking at Erin's current position. It's going to be off to the east of Puerto Rico. We're showing a current pressure about 980 millibars. This storm is currently a Category 2 hurricane. So let's go ahead and advance this out a little bit as it makes slow progress through the weekend and into Monday. This GFS run is showing still that northward curve and showing a recurve. Now, so far our model is out to 114 hours, and that's where it is at 114 hours, several hundred miles off the Outer Banks of North Carolina there. And one thing I would like to point out is this is going to be a major hurricane as it goes by. So in this scenario with the GFS, you're still going to have high surf conditions. You're going to have the increased threat of rip currents along the Atlantic coast beaches, particularly along the Outer Banks of North Carolina, up towards Virginia Beach, and, well, Ocean City, Maryland, even getting down towards Savannah, Georgia. All along the East Coast there, you're going to have an increased threat of rip currents. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the Euro. We're currently looking at the latest available Euro, and that's going to be the 18Z. So that same point, it shows roughly the same location. It's 120-hour forecast track there. And we'll bring it up to about here, 132, stagger it by 12 hours. Yeah. So we're staggering it by 12 hours. We have model agreement there, ladies and gentlemen. Model agreement. That's going to be a recurve. That's recurving out into the Atlantic. As we take a look at the hour-by-hour track, it's looking roughly the same. We're showing model agreement between the big two, the GFS and the Euro here. I'd like to bring up the German Icon model. A lot of people are saying that this has been an outlier model and that it got a couple of things right early in the season. I like to think that it got a little more than a couple of things right earlier in the season, but let me make sure we have the most current run. That's the OOZ run. And yes, right around the same time. Right around the same time. And the icon is showing it a little closer into the coast. We can see right here, a little closer to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Still not a landfalling hurricane. And this shows it hugging the coast a little tighter. But the icon has been a little further to the west this entire time. I guess this all depends on that presence or absence of the Bermuda High. It's been discussed in some of our circles here. So we're still going by GFS. GFS has shown to be just about the most reliable so far, specifically with regards to this system. So that's been the case with GFS. So we show a recurving system with the Euro showing agreement. Well, it looks like we're up to 120 hours, and yep, that's definitely showing a recurve, this being a fish storm. However, currently Category 2, forecast to become a Category 3 hurricane by this time tomorrow. And this is going to be a major. This is going to be in our major count. First majors of the season. Actually, I think the first major of the season, if I'm not mistaken. So that's basically what we're looking at, folks. Just wanted to put that out there. And, just because this is going to be a recurve, is looking highly likely that it's going to be a recurve and be a fish storm, more of a threat to shipping and the cruise industry. I would definitely say don't let your guard down. We are just getting into the season, and if you have not taken your preparations thus far to get ready for this season, I urge you to go ahead and begin doing so in the morning. You can start tonight. You're going to want to figure out what you need to go ahead and stock, figure out how you're going to account for your family's safety and your own during this time. And I hear it all the time when I mention being prepared for hurricanes. I always hear the counterpoint, well, those who have less means can't afford to prepare. You can't afford not to prepare. You might not be able to afford to evacuate. You can certainly afford to prepare. Get yourself something you can float on, if nothing else. And together a couple of dry stuffs for everybody in your family for a day's worth of food, and then calculate that out to a week. So 7 days worth of just dry goods that can be prepared for everybody in your family. Even if that means beef jerky, means, Vienna sausages, Spam, canned meats, things of that nature, something with a little bit of nutritional value. Go ahead and keep that in reserve. You're going to want a gallon of water for everybody in your family for 1 week as well. This is why evacuation is urged more than staying. Now, I realize people can be in a rough spot, but you got to make the best decision for life. This one, not going to affect land. I do not believe it's going to affect land. I think we're looking at a 90% chance of it just doing the recurve, going back out into the ocean and being a fish storm. But I will say that. Let's take a look at the NHC here. I want to pull up the NHC. We'll go ahead and bump it back over to that scene that I had set up. All right, so let's take a look at the NHC. As we key on Erin here, let's just go over the parameters. Let's go over the quick and dirty. Heavy rainfall tonight through Sunday across the northern Leeward Islands, the Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico may lead to isolated and locally considerable flash and urban flooding along with landslides or mudslides. Tropical storm conditions are possible for the portions of the northern Leeward Islands, where tropical storm watches are already in effect, beginning on Saturday as the core of Erin passes north of those islands. Gusts to tropical storm force are possible in rain bands over portions of the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico later in the weekend. While the direct threat of impact in the Bahamas and along the east coast of the United States appears to be gradually decreasing, there will still be a significant risk of dangerous surf and rip currents along western Atlantic beaches next week. And interests in Bermuda should continue to monitor the progress of Erin, since there is still a risk of strong winds, heavy rainfall, and high surf by the middle part of next week. Okay, guys, so there it is in a nutshell. There it is in a nutshell. That is basically what I was just mentioning. And just bear in mind that your rip conditions are going to be a pretty decent threat along the coast. I myself will be in Ocean City, Maryland, here in a day or two. We're going to be there for a few days. We're going to be streaming the drive up there and giving you a look at nice little island paradise, because it's always so nice to get away. We're going to be giving that to you, and we'll be discussing safety, and we'll be discussing rip currents while we're there. Also, we're going to take a look around. We're going to see if the flags are up. We're going to see what rip conditions are occurring there, and what happens throughout our stay there. And I'm also encouraging all of you, if you go out to the beach and you see the flags up, don't get in the water. And if you encounter rip conditions, please pass those along to me here at Keystone Prime. I'd like to take a look at, just crowdsource some of this stuff, because, you don't oftentimes get that. There is a Rip Current Forecasting Center that has a couple of things up, and let me find out what that is really quick. It's actually, let me see, NOAA Rip Current. Take a look at that. There is a forecasting center for that. That's run through NOAA. And let me take a look at what it's going to be. Okay, that's going to be noaa.gov/jetstream/ocean/rip-currents. Rolls right off the tongue. This is all rip current information, being as how that's going to be our largest threat so far in mainland United States off of this. Let's see, rip currents, rip tides. There used to be a forecasting center, so that is what I'm looking for. Here we are. So that's the one for NHX, but you can zoom all the way out. weather.gov/beach/forecast. A little bit of a hard one to find, and that's what I'm talking about. I would like to see, the conditions that are out there as this thing comes through. So I appreciate everybody being here. Hope you guys like the new tropical intro and tropical graphics. And here we are at 0017. That's midnight 17 on the East Coast. So we've taken a look at the most recent models of the big three there, the GFS, the Euro, and the Icon. I hope everybody's doing okay out there, and the season is just getting started, folks. I myself will be live in the field from the beachfront. Should we get anything throughout the season, I will be out there bringing you the latest and greatest. So I appreciate it, everybody, and until next time, Speeding Barry, Keystone Prime, thank you for watching. We're going to be right here with you.